What is up, everybody? It's your man, Untitled Barber here, and in this video, we're going to discuss barber cases and bags. As you can see behind me, I have a plethora of different barber cases, not bags, but we will discuss the bags. And for all of you that are interested in any of the products that I'm talking about in this video, I will have a link to those in the description below where you can check them at your leisure. But these cases here range from many different prices, ranging from $30 to $250. Now, as a barber, we do have a need for a case, especially if you are a traveling barber, maybe you do house calls, what have you, whatever your needs are, these cases are supposed to suit them. Now, the main question is, what is the right case for me? What is the right case for my needs? And when it comes to buying a case, that is the number one thing that you should be looking out for. That should be the number one thing on your priority list when you're looking for a barber case or bag. What do you need it for and why? So with the theme of starting off from cheapest to the most expensive, we're gonna start with this case here. Now, I'm sure most barbers are familiar with this case. We have either all started off with this case in our barber starter kit. The El Cheapo Harbor Freight. You could even get this case on Amazon. Like I say, links will be in the description. This basic equipment case. Now, when you open this case, when you get it from Harbor Freight, you will get a bunch of these slots where you can actually attach them here and you can adjust the size for whatever you need, whether you're cutting with cordless clippers, you're transporting corded clippers, you can really adjust the size. And for the price, it is a really good bang for your buck. However, there are some deficiencies in this case when it comes to build quality and sturdiness. I have noticed in this case, I've had it, and when I buy things, I test them to the limit. So when I had this case and I was using it, I jam-packed this thing. Now, the bad part is if you were to do that and put a lot of load on this case, some of the pieces will separate here. And I noticed that happened to me here. Some of the pieces separated when I had too much stuff inside this case. But for a basic beginner barber case, if you don't have a lot of needs or if you don't want to get too fancy, this is a good case for you. Like I say, you can section it off. Now, when you get this from Harbor Freight, it won't come with this many little organizers. You know, I'm not gonna say how you can get more organizers. I'll just let you use your imagination. But as you can see, you can attach your scissors, combs, you can put a shaver. I just have all sorts of stuff here. This little flap, it comes down and you can, you know, put some capes and stuff like that, things of that nature behind there, mirror, whatever you like, use your imagination. But this is not a bad case, but as I always say, you get what you pay for. And that's one thing to remember if you were thinking about buying this case. Now, second case, moving on, this case is the Vincent case. It's the small. They make this case in the small, medium, and large. This is the small to give you any idea of what a small looks like compared to this Vincent case, which is a large. You can see the difference here. But before I open the case, one thing I will say about this case is I really like this case. I used this case and got the most use out of this case out of really, up until this point, I should say, I got the most use out of this case. Now, when you open this thing, the build quality in this thing is very good. It's very light. I think the weight of this is probably around 3 pounds. It really doesn't weigh that much. But one thing I will say about this case is this. If you're looking to transport corded clippers, you may have some problems with this small case. If you're a traveling barber that does house calls here on occasion, not too many, and you don't like to carry that much equipment, this case is perfect for you because what it'll do is this. As you see, the slots are very tiny. You get 3 slots. You can put either guards or blades here. It has a slot for that. I use the blades, so I occupied all of these slots with blades. If you use guards, you can put your guards here. But as you can see, as tiny as these slots are, it's gonna be very hard to fit a corded clipper with the cable in this case. So keep that in mind if this was an option for you, if you guys are thinking about getting this case. When I purchased this, it was around $79. Not sure if the price is the same because, you know, prices and things fluctuate. When I buy certain things, I go back and look, the prices are more expensive now. But overall for me, I love this case. It has a little net here, little slot for whatever you want to put, some shears or combs. However, I will say these slots are semi-useless because once you put this box in here and you close it, if there's too much stuff in these little pouch or these slots, it's not gonna close properly and you're gonna put extra strain on this case. Now, as far as this little box you get, it's very good. You can put your combs. You could actually, I used to put my Slimline Pro LIs in here. I also put my combs, razors, blades, all sorts of things in this little box, and it does serve a very good purpose. So for the person who is looking to minimalize, who has cordless clippers and wants to keep his bag light and doesn't want to travel too heavy, this is the perfect case for you because you can get that all in this one case. It's a very small package rather than having to lug around a big load in a big case. And sometimes once these cases get larger and larger, they can get quite heavy. But with this case here and the build quality of it, you can get around pretty easy. Moving on to the next case. This case was listed as a travel / makeup artist / stylist / barber case. And when I looked at the listing online, I agreed with them as such because it had many different purposes, especially when I looked at the pictures. The price when I bought this case was $149.99. Now I went back and checked recently because of course, links to all this stuff will be in the description. The price, I think it was around 180 something, but it is a very sturdy case. When I purchased this case, I was looking to buy something that I can put literally all of my stuff, products, blow dryers, enhancements, cool care, everything. I can carry it all in one package. Wouldn't have to worry about anything. I was also looking for something where I can literally roll this up somewhere. I can set this up like a mini station and then pack up and go. The handheld versions, the problem is you have to find somewhere where you can sit it on, set it up. Then the other problem is you using it out of the case because you're cutting hair and you're putting dirty, unsanitized clippers back in your case. Me personally, I like to put only sanitized clippers in my case. I don't like there to be any hair, any dirt in my cases when I use them and transport them because at that point it's really not sanitary. But with this one, as you can see, it has a little combination lock on the top. Open it, it pops up. As you can see, it has a few slots in here for enhancement pencils, what have you. I have a few things here. It has little slots. You can put whatever you like. Now with this case, when I bought it, I'll wheel this up. When I bought this case, it came with 2 trays on both sides here. I opted to remove the trays because I wanted to put cool care and oil sheen and things of that nature here. If I were to leave the cases, this stuff would not fit in this case. So in the beginning, I did actually use the trays doing a few mobile calls where you could slide the trays out and you could rest your clippers on those, sort of like a mobile station. So for those of you that are thinking about buying this, it does have the 2 trays and you can work at it like that, especially if you have cordless clippers. It's perfect for that. But even if you don't use it for that, this slot, it's semi-deep where you can put blades. I have a screwdriver, have some septic swabs. I even have a 9-row brush and a few other things. You could put phone chargers and things of that nature in this top portion. Now the middle portion. As you can see, little lock, very simple, and it has this little divider / sectioner, which it actually serves a purpose from allowing your stuff not to just fly out of here in transportation. Now it has some nice slots here if you want to put your scissors or shears. I put my razor here, I will put my shaver here, and then I will put a bunch of extra blades in this slot. So it has a lot of different little slots here, as you can see. Very good. I would also put my product, mainly I would put product, whether it was shave gels, aftershave lotions, tonics, astringents, things of that nature, water spray bottles, alcohol. I would even put my neck duster and other things of that nature in this portion. So it's very, very good in that regard. It holds a lot of items. And now you have the bottom portion. Now the bottom portion is where it gets tricky because I know what you're wondering probably, where are you going to put your clippers? Now, that was a dilemma I had, is where will I put my clippers? In the beginning, I would put my clippers in this top portion underneath the trays before I remove them. But then I realized that's kind of a problem, because as you transport this thing and move it, the clippers will slide around freely. And I actually chipped one of the blades on my trimmers. So I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. And then I used my little ingenuity and realized, hey, I have this case. Why not just put it within this case and transport it that way? So what I did was I put all of my clippers in this case. I would insert it inside of the bigger case, but I would also have my blow dryer down here. I would have my capes and a few other things in this bottom portion, and it fits nicely. There's no problem. You can get this thing in and out of here very easy. Now, as I told you about the price tag of both of these items, do you want to pay that much to wheel all of this stuff around? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna tell you how to spend your money. That's up to you, but I just happen to have this case. Then I ended up buying this case, and it just worked out together. So that's really how that worked. I did not buy both of these in conjunction to use it as that one exact purpose. It just worked out that way for me. Now, the downside. As I said earlier, this case serves so many different purposes and it is awesome, but it does have downsides. Downside number one, it is very heavy. This thing is almost like a workout. As you can see, you don't even have to get your tickets to the gun show. You can get them here when you're with this case. This case is very, very heavy. Now, if you're talking about a woman barber or a female barber, this case can be very cumbersome, especially trying to labor this thing around. And depending upon what sort of vehicle you have, this case will be useless. It will be rendered useless. Me personally, I have a minivan, so it's very easy to transport within a minivan because you have the middle section where you can just store this thing upright, or even in the trunk where I can store this upright. I don't have to lean it to the side, which then you have to worry about some of your products and things of that nature falling. And two, with a woman or female, they may not be able to lift something this heavy. Once you load this thing up, that's if you load it up with all of your product and everything, this is literally your mobile station, you're looking at lugging around upwards of 50 plus pounds of stuff. Already alone, as you saw, there's not much in this case, but it's heavy enough. It's somewhat durable. One issue I did have with this case was this. The wheels. As you can see, the wheels were replaced. These are not the same wheels that came on the case. Now, could that have been a little bit of my fault? Yes, it could have. Now, what happened was I would always take this case down the curb. I would take this case down the curb constantly and just let it thump down to the ground. Eventually, the wheels said they had enough and ended up breaking. Shout out to one of my barber brothers that I went to barber college with. He actually replaced these for me, so they're a lot more sturdy now. Outside of that, it's a sturdy case. It actually looks pretty good. I would always get compliments on this case. However, it is very cumbersome, and it's a chore actually trying to lug this case around. And lastly, we have my last barber case and my latest purchase, this Vincent nostalgic case. Now, when I saw this case initially, I was blown away at the craftsmanship, the look of it, and what it actually holds. Now, the reason for me buying this case, two reasons. One, I got tired of the last case that I just shown you, lugging it around and all of that. And I was thinking about downsizing and getting something a little bit more practical, something a little bit more manageable. Now, in this case, they have many different looks, and like I said, I will leave links in the description where you can shop Amazon and you can actually look at the many different cases that they have. If you don't like this one, they have many different color options and styles, and it's actually a really, really nice case. But for $249, is it that nice? I know that's a question that everyone is gonna have. Are you willing to pay $250 for a case? I'll just review this case and then I'll let you guys choose and make your decision. Leave it in the comments if you guys think it's worth paying $250 for this case, but save it for after I show you this case. Now, as you can see here, it says Master Barber right here on the case, certified, stamp right there, real cool. Comes with a nice leather handle, very good quality, and it seems very well built. And another reason why I felt comfortable spending $250 on this case was because I actually had a prior Vincent case, the small one that I showed you earlier. So in going with the theme of Vincent, I figured if that case was good enough, I'm sure this case is just as good, if not better. And in my opinion, it's a lot better. So as I open this case, you see here, as it opens up, I already have all of my stuff, well not all of my stuff, but some of my stuff in this case. It comes with a similar case netting pouch as the small case, and you see I have a few things. I have my 1-minute blade modifier. I did a review on that video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I have some blade setters. You see I have my razors, things of that nature here, but it also comes with this nice wooden box, almost like a cigar box of sorts, but it is very nice. Very nice thing you get in the regular Vincent large case. In the regular Vincent large case, you would get like a regular black box, but in this one, the nostalgic ones, you get this nice smelling wooden case. So nice. This little top portion, it slides off, as you can see, has a portion here, nice little section where you can put all your blades. Some guards, I will say this, not all the guards fit here. You can put guards 0 through 1.5 if you have wall, maybe. The only problem with that is the guards may stick out beyond the point here, and you won't be able to slide this top portion on. So that's the one issue I've seen with potentially trying to store your guards here. Now, if you have blades, you have plenty of options for blades here. I mean, look, I have a bunch of blades and I don't even fill all the slots. I put a few guards here. So for blade owners, good. Guard owners, but you, like I say, as you can see here, I put some of the higher guards in here, and the store is easy. I will be honest with you guys, it would be very hard to fill all these slots with all of your barber equipment, tools, implements, and things of that nature. It's gonna be very hard to fill all this stuff. Otherwise, it's gonna turn out to be pretty heavy, and for the most part, you don't want a super heavy case, especially when you're carrying it by hand. Now, it also comes with this nice little tray where you can store your neck strips, which is really cool, especially for the mobile barber. That is awesome. You see, I got a bunch of stuff. I have blades, I have hair clips, I have my bunch of different myriad of combs, picks, you know, bit brushes and roller brushes, things of that nature. As you can see, I have a bunch of different things in this top portion, so it serves a very good purpose. You can also put clippers. Now, I will say this, it has 2 slots, as I'm gonna show you, for clippers, but as you can see how big this is, you can put clippers in here. Mainly, I would say cordless clippers, but you can put them in here. That's if you choose. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots. And now we're gonna go into the actual case where you actually keep the bulk and the money portion of your items. Now, the thing here is, you see this little case, it holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's. It serves a very good purpose. This little thing slides out actually, so if you were to actually go somewhere and you're trying to cut hair somewhere mobile, maybe you set up on this table or a countertop, this is awesome. You can set up right here. It has these little grooves. I'm not sure if you guys can see these. It has these little grooves right here where if you're using clippers with cords, you can easily just store your clippers here and don't have to worry about your clippers falling out or having any sort of weird accidents on a house call or mobile call. Even at a shop, you can use this at a shop, just sit this on your station and boom, work out of this, especially for those barbers in the barber shop that get calls for house calls and they just want to get up and go. You could just set this up like this and then serve it for this purpose. But if you know you're a house call barber or you're a mobile barber, most barbers have a mobile setup outside of what they actually have in the barber shop. But if you wanted to have this case serve double duty, you can. As you can see, I have my Super ZRs, I have both of my Supremes, Slimline Pro LIs, and I have 2 pair of T outliners right there. So I'm filling those up quite nicely. It also has, I'll show you, has a nice little slot here. There's a little section, a little space where you can put extra stuff right there. I have my Bronze Series 7 shaver, my neck duster, and talc powder right here from Urban Barber Company. Not if you guys are curious what this is a little thing where you put it in there and boom, boom. And you don't have to worry about it being messy or things of that nature. You know how talc powder can be, pouring it out of the bottle onto your neck duster. it can be quite messy. And trust me, I completely understand. That's why I bought this thing. So as you saw, these are the many different cases, but not limited to all the cases that are out there on the market. There are plenty of other Barber cases out there. These are just a few and some of the ones that I have. What I didn't mention in this video were Barber bags. They do make actual Barber backpacks where you can actually put literally everything in your arsenal within that backpack, including the blow dryer. Sort of like everything that I could put in this one big case, you could put that in one backpack. The downside of that is, especially like I said for the ladies, transporting a heavy backpack like you're almost like a Green Beret in the Vietnamese jungle and you're having to actually ruck this thing around. That can be quite cumbersome, and depending on if you have a strong back or core, I'm not sure if you want to deal with that sort of life, but you have many different options. There are all sorts of types of Barber bags and cases. I've seen even smaller, more compact versions where you can carry shears comfortably, clippers, and things of that nature. But like I say, the possibilities are endless. I would definitely recommend you guys go on the Shop Amazon link in the description below and look at all the different cases. That's if you're in the market for one. But I hope this helped any of you guys make a smarter decision on buying a case or bag in the future. But like I said earlier, when you're choosing a case, you want to choose a case based on your needs, not on what you think is cool, because if you want to buy on what you think is cool, you're just going to end up spending a lot of money. So look at the cases for what you need and your purposes and how you're going to use them, and you'll make a smarter decision. I hope you guys found this helpful. Leave a like, comment, share these videos, and subscribe. I'm sure there are other barbers that will love this video and will find it helpful. As I always say, browse the channel. I have plenty of great barbering content out here. I'm gonna get out of here. It has been your man, I Do a Barber, signing out. I will holla.